Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's featured Reddit stories are from Am I the A-Hole? Story 1 today is by Savings Bitter 1426. Am I the a-hole for posting screenshots of my sister-in-law's texts online and making her look bad? I'm a 29 female and my wife, who's 28 female, had our son 6 days ago. The pregnancy was complicated and they had TTTS, twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome, which resulted in them coming early. They are currently in the neonatal unit and my wife and I practically live there so we can spend time with our boys. My brother and his wife got married 2 days ago. I didn't want to leave my sons or my wife, so I missed the wedding, though I sent them their gift from us in a text wishing them a fantastic day, and I thought nothing more of it. Yesterday, I got a text from my new sister-in-law explaining that because my wife and I missed the wedding, she'd need us to send her £140 for our plates of food. I asked her if she was joking, and she told me that she got that my wife couldn't go as she had to stay in the hospital, but that I wasn't the one who gave birth, so I could have went to save the 2 plates from going to waste. I told her she was being ridiculous and asked if my brother was aware she was asking his sister for money for food. She brushed that off and said weddings were expensive and she had to try to recoup her losses and this should be between us, woman to woman. Between this and her thinking I should have gone anyway, I admit I lost my temper. I ended up taking screenshots of the conversation and posting it to Facebook. This shocked several people in the family, and she must have gotten bombarded with messages as she told me to take it down, as I was making her look bad and people were taking it out of context and thinking she was some kind of villain. My brother called me and told me not to worry about the money, that it was stupid to expect us to pay for the plates, though asked me to take the post down and he'd handle it. He seemed kind of shocked by her even asking this. Did I go too far? My wife is mostly upset by our sister-in-law's comment about how I wasn't the one to give birth, as if it makes me less of their mother. Maybe I should have handled it better, but I admit at the time I wasn't thinking very clearly. Edit, I thought I said in the post, but I didn't. Sorry, running on very little sleep. I took down the post when my brother asked me to do so. In my opinion, she is a huge a-hole for asking you to pay for the meals that you guys didn't eat. That sort of thing happens at weddings. Sometimes people have an emergency come up and they can't go. And yes, you could have showed up, but you're the partner of somebody who just gave birth. For some reason, she doesn't seem to value your relationship with your wife, which is incredibly stupid. That being said, I don't think that you should have posted it on Facebook. I do think you should have contacted your brother and said, hey, she's saying this to me and I think it's absurd. Can you maybe make her see some sense? Because this is ridiculous. I am this person's wife. She gave birth. I have to be there in the hospital with her. You don't just go to a wedding during the birth of your child. That's just such a silly, stupid request on her part for you to pay for it. And she also doesn't seem to understand that having a child, especially in the United States, is very expensive as well. Yes, weddings are ridiculously priced and stupid expensive, but so is having a kid, especially one that has complications and has to spend extra time in the hospital. Well, I need to recoup costs where I can. Well, you need to go yourself, is what she should have said to her, honestly. So yeah, your sister-in-law is definitely the massive a-hole, but I think you were a tiny bit of one for posting on Facebook too. Our next story is by Chuck It in the Rubbish. Am I the a-hole for not disclosing that I am not Christian? To preface this, I do commission artwork and don't discriminate against any subject unless it's racist, homophobic, otherwise hateful, or sexually disturbing. I did a commission art piece with Christian iconography, a beautiful ornate cross, a saint, and scripture in calligraphy. The client was happy with my work, paid me, and then asked me what my favorite scripture was. I was honest and just said, oh, I don't really have one because I'm not Christian and wouldn't really know which ones I'd like. He became upset and told me that he felt lied to because I have posted artwork of Christian subjects before and he assumed I would be Christian. He said the art doesn't hold the same spiritual value because it wasn't made with faithful intention. I was kind of unsure what to say. I said, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I do artwork for everyone, and I am open to doing Christian artwork because it's for the client, not me. Should I be disclosing that I don't share a certain faith when commissioned to do artwork for it? Am I the a-hole? If this guy that commissioned you to do artwork for him was a true Christian, he would probably believe that God is working through you to do your art. God gave you the ability to do the art, and the art is beautiful. He doesn't need it to come from a Christian. Just because you've done Christian artwork for other people doesn't mean you're a Christian. If you have like a web page that you do stuff on, you might want to say, I don't have any religious affiliations or something like that. But you do not need to disclose that you're not Christian. If he really wanted to know, he should have asked beforehand, and I hope that he paid you, because it would be really un-Christian of him if he decided not to pay you for your artwork after you did it because you were not Christian too. So yeah, you don't have to disclose at all that you're not religious. You're just doing art. Paid, commissioned artwork. That's it. There was one really good reply down below that actually got 41,000 upvotes by the time I screenshot it. By Blue Panda Yellow Panda. Not the a-hole. You don't discriminate. But apparently they do, laughing my butt off. Our last story today is by Farts Too Long. Am I the a-hole for asking my partner to stop telling me to lower your volume? Sometimes when I get excited about a topic, I naturally start speaking louder than usual. Not shouting, just louder than normal conversation level. The thing is, I don't realize I'm doing it in the moment. When this happens, my partner will often interrupt me mid-sentence to ask me to lower my volume. I don't think they mean it in a rude way, and I understand that they probably just want the conversation to stay at a comfortable volume. That's fair. But every time it happens, I feel demoralized and even a little self-conscious. I lose my enthusiasm and no longer feel like talking about the thing I was excited about. Even if they don't mean it harshly, it still feels dismissive and discouraging. I've tried to explain how it makes me feel, but they still keep interrupting me. Am I the a-hole for wanting them to stop interrupting me like that, or do I just need to accept that I should keep my volume in check? Even if it's hard because I don't always realize that I'm doing it? I think you need to realize that while you may feel a little demoralized and self-conscious when they ask you to lower your voice, that there may be an issue that's making them feel uncomfortable. And if you're so excited about a conversation that you're like talking super loud and it's distracting to them and all they can focus on is how loud you're getting, then yes, it's okay for them to say, can you just bring it down a little bit? He can acknowledge to you, I love when you get excited about this sort of topic, but you get so loud and it's distracting to me and then I don't follow your conversation. It's funny you mention this because I've had these conversations with people in my life before, and I've been the one who raised my voice when I get excited about something. Or I'll like have headphones on and be talking excitedly about something that's happening in a game I'm playing, and somebody sitting next to him will be like, shh, calm down, quiet down, you're yelling. And at the time, I do get a little annoyed too because I'm so happy and I just want to tell everybody about it. I just want to tell the world about it, but you also have to realize that you might be distracting them from the conversation you're trying to share with them. But I don't think it makes him an a-hole to do that, and I don't think you're an a-hole for getting a little hurt about it. But I think that you should look at it from his side, too. Like, he's getting distracted from it because you're bringing the volume up so much because you're so excited. It can be distracting to other people. But I am curious if you guys agree on that or not. I have had conversations with significant others in the past who talk too loudly, and I'm telling them, bring it down, shh. Or I get too loud, and even I get irritated if I get told, you're too loud, bring it down. Which side do you take, if any? Somebody did post a reply to this down in the comments by AnnChris17. Not an a-hole. My family and I tease each other about something like this all the time. We call it the self-awareness rule. Basically, now that you know that when you get excited you talk too loud, you can be more aware of it and then try to keep your volume lower. Take a breath when you feel yourself getting too excited, or even practice volume control by being silly with it and whisper your exciting things. I struggle with crazy migraines sometimes, and all I have to do is tell my family, lower your volume just a bit, and they do so. They know I love them, and they know I want to hear and enjoy what they're saying, so they lower their voices so I can listen and partake. One family member in particular was particularly more sensitive to this first and felt as you do now. I had a conversation with them along the lines of, I love you, I know you get excited, and I love your excitement. to partake in your excitement to, I would like your volume to lower just a bit. I think the most important thing to remember about this specific scenario is you're not being told to shut up or be quiet. Your partner probably just wants a conversation at a normal tone where the volume isn't a distraction to your excitement. As someone who has been asked to lower my volume and asked someone to lower theirs, it's never about getting the person to stop talking. It's always about making sure I can stay in the conversation at a comfortable level, meaning I can listen and partake in it longer. Unfortunately, you might have to learn how to be less sensitive about it. Focus on the fact that your partner clearly cares about what you're saying enough to try to actively and comfortably listen to what you're talking about. I hope this helped a little. It's kind of a ramble. They said it perfectly, exactly how I feel. And they even said that they're somebody who has been asked to lower their volume and has asked other people to lower their volume. It happens on both sides. But I am curious how many of you have had similar conversations with somebody you care about. Not just significant others, but family members as well. Our stories for today have come to a close. Until we meet again, have a stellar day.